By and large, I would say the climate of fear and trepidation and intimidation is really pronounced. There are a lot of questions people both in the student body and on the faculty are asking about how and why an institution like Columbia, which has a storied history of free speech, is acting the way it is. And I spoke to one professor, Nara Milanish, who is a professor of Latin American history at Columbia. And she has a theory that I think is shared by a number of professors on the staff of Columbia. I want you to take a listen. This is what she has to say.
There was a lawsuit filed this morning by the AFT and the AAUP, both teacher-led professor-led groups, suing the Trump administration over their attempts to withhold this $400 million in federal funding from Columbia. Are you surprised that it's the teaching staff that is leading this charge?
It is quite shocking. And I think that, what's happening here is that it's really about the trustees that are calling the shots at this moment. It's not actually the administration of the college. They come from different worlds, they come with different values, and it turns out they're calling the shots here. So one of the interpretations of what has gone on at Columbia in the past week that I've heard that I absolutely agree with is that this is not a story about capitulation, it's a story about collusion.
It's a provocative theory, right? That the trustees see the curbing of certain speech as a means to their ends. But the question is, if that's indeed the case and that the trustees are pressuring the Columbia University to do what it's doing, at what cost, right? I mean, you heard from the editor of one of the political newspapers on campus. People are pulling down articles on everything, whether it's China, whether it's Israel. There is no boundary. There is no red line. People don't understand if the Constitution still applies to them at Columbia. And that is a huge problem, not just for Columbia, but for academia at large. Right.